Mr. Becker.
Marshall, looking sharp.
Long time.
5 years, 4 months.
It's no secret that I love Pacific Rim. If you know me, I talk about it a lot. It is like the main thing I bring up whenever I bring up film. And it's the reason why I became a film director and why I'm so excited for the sequel.
I don't know her.
So for my first analysis video, it's a no-brainer why I should talk about this masterpiece of a film and why it's so relevant today, which I know you're probably thinking, what? How is it relevant? It's robots fighting monsters. How is that relevant in 2020? But listen, like I got the answer to your question, right? So stay tuned and just stick with me for now, okay? Also, spoilers for Pacific Rim 1 and Pacific Rim 2. If you have not seen it, go watch the first one. It would be a good use of your time. But yeah, let's get into the video. One of the strengths of Pacific Rim is that it knows what it is. On a surface level, it's a movie about monsters and robots. And when you pay to see a movie like this, you expect to get what you paid for. And Guillermo blew all the expectations out of the water. Like, yo, he said Yeager's gonna have weight. What do I mean by that? I mean, you will feel the weight of these huge machines in every action they make. When they run, it's slow. Their attacks are hard-hitting. Weapons take a while to charge. The emphasis of the slow, heavy movements and mechanics of the Jaegers add to the weight and power of the machine, and as an audience watching, makes it believable that these things exist. Also, can we please take a moment to appreciate this scene?
Come on! Hopelessly compromised! We need backup immediately!
Just hold on, Shadow, we're on our way!
Do you see how it's fighting against the current of the ocean? Like, damn man, the details in this movie is insane and never get old. I always, it's so cool to see. Pacific Rim also takes the time to build up the kaiju as a threat, not only to humanity, but to the Jaegers. They're not dumb. They got 2 brains for a reason, and they're going to use it. Whether it was Knivehead driving its sharp nose through Gypsy's arm, Leatherback emitting an electromagnetic pulse to disable Stryker, or Otachi flying Gypsy to the edge of space to drain their oxygen. The kaiju are no joke. And it's these individual qualities that make for interesting battles. One of my favorites being Cherno Alpha and Crimson Typhoon against Otachi and Leatherback. It's the most brutal and one of the most emotional fights in the film. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Pacific Rim makes robots fighting monsters damn cool. And you know you like seeing it. I like seeing it. We all like seeing it. Can we have some more, please? Like, where's the franchise? I'm waiting.
I don't know her.
Where do I even start with this? I don't know if Guillermo knows that he's made one of the most beautiful ways to connect with another human being in this film, but the drift, man, I wish it was real. To be able to know someone deeper than they know themselves, to share an unspoken bond, a connection so strong that they don't even need to speak. They'll just know between them what the other person wants to say, and that's really deep. And I love that this connection, the drift is emphasized throughout the film. And we see the drift happen on 4 separate occasions. 2 instances with 2 pilots and 2 instances with a human and a kaiju. But in all of these 4 scenes, the importance and consequences of the drift are clearly shown.
Neural handshake initiated.
The drift, Jaeger tech, based on DARPA jet fighter neural systems. 2 pilots mind-melding through memories with the body of a giant machine. The deeper the bond, the better you fight.
The deeper the bond, the better you fight. That's the first requirement to having a successful drift. Both pilots need to be close. They need to share a strong bond. And with Yancey and Raleigh being brothers, that's easy. But the second requirement is what makes the drift so interesting.
Remember, don't chase the rabbit. Random access brain impulse triggers, memories. Just let them flow, don't latch on. Tune them out, stay in the drift. The drift is silence.
Memories. That's what makes us human. We all have memories we'd rather forget or memories we hold on to. And that's what makes this interesting. Because in the drift, you're not just seeing your memories, you're seeing your co-pilots. So what happens if you chase the rabbit? What happens if you latch onto a memory?
Oh, went through the hole! Only listen to me! You need...
Both out of alignment.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Tipsy, you're out of alignment. You are both
I'm
out
okay,
of alignment.
just let me control it.
You're stabilizing, but Mako is way out.
Mako.
She's starting to chase the rabbit.
Mako, don't get stuck in a memory. Stay with me. Stay in the now. Don't engage in the past. Mako. Mako, listen to me.
Now Guillermo did not need to show us what happened when you chase the rabbit. Raleigh already gave us the rundown of what not to do when you drift. So the fact that he did, the fact that we were shown the consequences of latching onto a memory is what makes this film top tier. The details, like I said before, in this film are insane. And another detail I love is how the film shows the difference between people who drift for the first time and people who have drifted before. When Newt drifts with the kaiju brain, his facial expressions show us that the neural load is too much for him to take on his own. And when Mako drifts with Raleigh for the first time, the power of the neural load causes her to be pushed back. Compare this to Raleigh, who takes a deep breath before entering the drift. In both situations, the level of experience is so obvious, and I love that Guillermo showed this. Every frame of this film should be put in a gallery, and I'm not even joking. Like, I'll even make it myself. Guillermo, if you ever want a gallery for Pacific Rim made, just call me, because like, I will make it happen. Because it doesn't matter where the scene is taking place, the environment is painted in a kaleidoscope of color. For example, take this scene. Raleigh is at the Shatter Dome and is being shown Gypsy Danger for the first time in years. But look at the colors. You got your shades of blue, and hey, just for good measure, let's add in some light blue right there. You got your oranges, your gold, your silvers, your grays, your greens, and what's that in the distance? Is that red? Is that red? Ain't nobody even gonna see that because it's so small, but it's there. The details, y'all. The details. Another example, Hong Kong. The city is brought to life through the arrays of color. Just look at it. Look at all that color right there. There's so many, I can't even count. But that's what makes this battle special and separates it from the others, the explosion of color. And my last example, when Raleigh arrives at the Shatter Dome, the frame is drenched in blues. Also, you think. No, we got some yellow and white markings on the ground. We got green vats holding kaiju brains. The helicopter's gray. The city colors in the distance. In the distance. The details, people. Look at the details. If you don't know why I like Pacific Rim now you do. The details. This is why I've been telling y'all Pacific Rim is the greatest film ever made. Y'all go watch the film, and this is why you'll know why I love it so much. This relationship is one of the best relationships in the film because it's so complex. The relationship is one of rank and also one of respect. This is conveyed through their colors. Stacker and Mako share the color blue, showcasing their connection through rank and their father-daughter relationship, which not even many people know about. And I don't mean the viewers, I mean the people in the world of Pacific Rim. But it's those moments when they drop rank and Stacker acts like a father to Mako. It's those heartfelt moments when the film shines.
You are a brave girl. I'm so lucky to have seen you grow. If I'm going to do this, I need you to protect me. Can you do that?
Now, I rewatched this film before I made this video, and out of the many times I've rewatched Pacific Rim, which is a lot, like I don't even know how many times it is now, but I've never noticed the moment where without speaking to her, he tells her to keep her chin up and stand straight. That moment is so powerful because without speaking, they can communicate with each other just like how two Jaeger pilots can. The connection they share is so strong, which makes his death that much harder.
Mako! Listen! You can finish this! I'll always be here for you! You can always find me in the drift!
Sensei, 愛しています。
This is why Pacific Rim 2 bothers me. Mako was the heart of this film, and Stacker's death is like he was passing on the baton to her. Yet she was killed off like she just didn't help destroy the breach in Pacific Rim 1 and save the world. Like, to me, that was so disrespectful, and I'm still not over it. I really do hope, I don't even know, but I really do hope there is like some way of salvaging what Pacific Rim 2 did, because Pacific Rim 1 was just so good, and not gonna lie, I really did want to see what was gonna happen with Mako and Raleigh afterwards, and yeah, I'm still bothered by Pacific Rim 2. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, if we're gonna be real, for a quick minute, I ship these two like crazy. My love for them is, they should have been together. Guillermo, why couldn't they be a couple? Like, they are the best platonic / romantic / non-couple that should have been a couple / friendship that I've ever seen in a film. So I'm just gonna fangirl over these two for a hot moment, and you're just gonna have to sit there and listen. So first, let's talk about their individual colors for a minute, because I've always found that pretty interesting. Raleigh's world is full of earthly colors, browns and greens, symbolizing his rebirth after Yancey's death. But Mako's world is full of blues, and it reminds me of the ocean, symbolizing her drowning in her desire for vengeance due to her family being killed by kaiju. Now already we got a connection between these two, Earth and the ocean, two important parts of our world that we meet. Now what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say is that they were meant to meet, meant to find each other. Destiny was at hand here, people. Fate had been written. What I'm saying is that they're soulmates, and there's not a fact in the world that can change that. When Raleigh enters Mako's world, their environment becomes complementary. A color scheme of blues and yellows, showcasing their similarities, differences, and the connection that they're going to share. Sparks are literally flying when they're in this scene together. What else is Guillermo trying to say here? Raleigh even starts wearing blue after he meets Mako. He has officially joined her world. They've become one even before they drift. And this is enforced in the trial scene. Mako criticizes Raleigh's attacks, knowing that he could have defeated his opponent quicker.
Excuse me?
Every time a match ends, you make this little gesture. Like you're critical of that performance.
It's not their performance. It's yours. Your gambit. You could have taken all of them 2 moves earlier.
You think so?
I know so.
Emphasis on the word no in this scene. She knew he could have done those 2 moves earlier. She knew. What does that remind you of?
The deeper the bond, the better you fight.
It's like they've drifted before, like she knows him better than he knows himself. Before they even fight, Guillermo shows us that they're already drift compatible. Like, wow, come on, you gotta be shocked at that. Like, what other proof do y'all need?
I mean, I'm not crazy. You felt it, right? We are drift compatible.
Damn right you are, Raleigh. Damn right you are. But one of the best moments between these two is when Raleigh finds out that Mako will be his co-pilot. Like, yo, every time I see this scene, tears in my eyes. Like, it's just so beautiful.
Are you gonna say anything?
No point. 5 minutes, you're gonna be inside my head. You look good.
But if there's one scene, like if I ever get the chance to meet Guillermo, God willing, I need answers to this. Like, I will ask it.
You know, Mako, all those years I spent living in the past, I never really thought about the future. Until now. I never did have very good timing.
Like, what does this mean, Guillermo? What does it mean? Is this a proposal? Because it sounds like one. Like, I need answers because this has been racking my brain for like, I don't even know how many years. Like, I need to know. Now, this is gonna sound like I'm reaching here, and maybe I am, but on my latest rewatch of this film, I couldn't help but find similarities to what's going on in the world right now. If we look at the kaiju as the pandemic, the same reaction that the world had when Corona was revealed to be spreading in China is the same reaction the world had when the kaiju first attacked in San Francisco. They shrugged it off.
We mourned our dead, memorialized the attack, and moved on.
But just like how the world shrugged off the coronavirus, it began to spread. And it's only when it went worldwide that the world started to take it seriously. The same thing happens in Pacific Rim.
And then, only 6 months later, the second attack hit Manila.
The acid factor of the kaiju blood creates a toxic phenomenon named kaiju blue.
And then the third one hit Cabo. And then the fourth. And then we learned this was not gonna stop.
Another similarity is the treatment of the nurses and doctors and the treatment of the Jaeger program by the government. A lot of hospitals don't even have enough PPE equipment to give to the nurses and doctors, but are still expected to treat corona patients. And the Jaegers are low in number as opposed to when they first started, with there being only 4 left, yet the government has drawn back funding and still expects them to defend the world from the kaiju.
The frequency of the attacks has increased. The Jaegers are not the most viable line of defense anymore.
I am aware. Those are my rangers that die every time a Jaeger falls, which is why I'm asking you for one
Excuse me, Marshal.
last chance, one
Excuse me.
final assault with everything
Listen
we've
to
got.
me. The Jaeger program is dead, Marshal. On the other hand, the Coastal Wall program is a promising option.
The world appreciates all that you and your men have done, but it's over. We will authorize you to take all remaining Jaegers to the last battle station, Hong Kong. We are prepared to fund you for the next 8 months while the coastal wall is completed. After that, you will receive no further support.
You have your answer, Marshal.
But Pacific Rim, obviously not intentionally, gives us a solution to this problem. And I feel like this speech is more important than ever during our current situation. And what I think is how we'll solve this pandemic. So I'm just gonna finish this video with that. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope this speech gives you all a lot of hope during this time. I know it's been very hard for people, especially young people, which interestingly is not shown on the news. You never hear about what the youth are going through, but I hope this speech does give you guys hope and help you all get through this time. But yeah, stay safe, and I hope you all have a good day.
Today, at the edge of our hope, at the end of our time, we have chosen not only to believe in ourselves, but in each other. Today, there's not a man nor woman in here that shall stand alone. Not today. Today we face the monsters that are at our door and bring the fight to them. Today we are canceling the apocalypse.